I'm Avant, founder and CEO of Aquagenuity, where water meets ingenuity. So we're a data company. We help you find out what's in your water in real time. And since coronavirus has hit, it's really shown that we don't get accurate data about environmental threats to our health until it's too late. And people don't know that the next crisis is already coming. Like by 2030, basically, there will be 40% greater demand for clean water than supply for the first time in human history. It's like, what is that? Like, how do you live in the world and you're traveling around, you don't know if your water's safe? So we made an app for that. That's what we do.
So tell us a little bit about some of the movements you have in place right now.
Well, one of the things we launched this year, actually be launching in June with IBM, the Weather Channel, and the United Nations, is the Water Genome Project. So that is basically our mission, is to map all the world's water down to the street level. So instead of just waiting and allowing humans to be the sensors telling us when something's wrong, we have enough data on the ground to be able to predict and prevent it. Because we're trying to create a world where a crisis like the one we're experiencing now, where people are dying because they don't have good data, never happens again. So that we're really on a mission, hashtag data to the people.
Tell us a little bit about growing up here in Atlanta and why Atlanta is so important to you.
So yeah, I was born and raised in the A. My parents moved here from Los Angeles the year before I was born. So I was born and raised in the SWAT, that's Southwest Atlanta. Camilton Road, Sandtown, Ben Hill, went to Frederick Douglass High School, Astros, black and gold all day. Like, we do this for real. Like, we're from the A for real. And this is a very different city, like pre-Olympics versus post-Olympics. Like when we were coming up as kids, first of all, I really thought the whole world was like this. I thought the world was kind of like the Cosby Show a little bit, in the sense of like black people like had money and black people were like in charge of stuff, and we like ran the city, and we didn't know that that was weird or you know, that was not normal. I didn't really find out till I was in high school that the world doesn't look like that. So I think growing up in Atlanta in such a strong black community, black entrepreneurship, none of these things were strange to us. It just made us believe that we can do anything. Like if you meet anybody that's from the A for real, they will be like we have a different type of attitude. Nobody can tell us what we can't do because that's all we know. Being a black woman in general is amazing. I think we have a lot of superpowers, and we can display that in any industry that we go into. I think one of the disadvantages is in the last few years, like I said, it's a very different town post-Olympics. So a lot of people just moved here from everywhere, which is cool. You know, Atlanta kind of became the destination city. Go pursue your dreams, you head to Atlanta. So people are here from everywhere. So now you have a different type of energy in the city. And then when all the reality shows and all of that stuff started hitting, people, they were broadcasting to the world a different image of what it means to be a black woman from Atlanta, which could sometimes be a disadvantage, right? So you walk into a room and you're young, you're black, you're a woman, and you're attractive, they automatically think like, fill in the blank of whatever reality show, you know, or they think you're gonna be acting crazy, or you're gonna have an attitude, or this and that. So it's not something that can be overcome, but I do think that our culture and what makes us special as a city, some people have gotten it twisted a little bit. So I'm on a mission to take that back, take that power back.
Could you talk about some of the programs and organizations that you're involved in, some of the, you know, it's a lot that's happening here for entrepreneurs in Atlanta?
Yeah, we have seen a lot of movement. A lot of big corporations like Google has activated with us probably 4 or 5 times. They featured me on the homepage of Google, which is not a thing, but they did. And multiple times since then, they flew us up to Flint. So we really got to work closely with a lot of people inside of, you know, one of the biggest tech companies in the world. And now most recently, they have made a real big focus on diversity and inclusion, and trying to help build startups who can become, you know, the next unicorns, if you will, and giving us access to resources and their engineers and things like that. So a lot of big banks, BMW, Porsche, like a lot of Coca-Cola, we did a program with them. Like a lot of corporations are going out of their way because they understand that innovation is the only way they're going to survive. I'm creating a future where it's not weird for me to stand up in front of a room and say I'm a data scientist. I imagine a future where when I go speak to elementary school kids and we ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? they're not just raising their hand and saying a ball player or I want to be on a reality show, but they're saying, you know, I want to be an engineer or I want to invent something or I want to have a tech startup. I think we have an opportunity in Atlanta because we are the culture to show kids what that looks like, to show kids that innovation, that we are the original innovators. They didn't invent this, we did, and so it's time to take back our power and through technology and culture and all of that, and I think we can build that future in Atlanta.